You're now listening to the Palmetto Dugout Show, hosted by State Director Sammy Esposito, Associate Scouts Drew Stewart and Sean Smith, that discuss all things related to amateur baseball in South Carolina. Here are your hosts.
Welcome into high school preview number 7. We've got the Fountain and Fury coach Roland. What's going on?
Hey guys, how are y'all? Thanks for having me.
Sammy, you doing great, Sammy?
Fury, baby. I'm doing awesome. You know, whenever you get the Fury on, it's time to roll. So great time.
Coach, we'll kind of let this thing roll here, but kind of start off with last year's season, some things you learned as well as experiences.
Learned a lot. Didn't really know what to expect going into last year because we were playing, with our hands tied behind our back a little bit. But, I was pleased with, how we performed, and we were in a lot of games because we pitched well and we played some defense. But Lord knows if we can hit the ball a little bit, we'd be in a better spot. I was happy with it. We play in a region that, not many people want to be placed in for their first year on varsity, but we play where they tell us to. And so I think we showed up a lot of nights and gave people some fits, and, we didn't pull out a lot of those games, but I think we may be on the map a little bit more now, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, no, I know when Austin rolled out there last year to watch the Fury, he was quite high on you guys. So now, obviously, coming off of last year, kind of learning some things. Who are some returners you're looking into to kind of lead you guys into this year?
Well, thankfully, we didn't lose anybody yet, but we got some good players, man. I think our heartbeat is a kid named Joel Irizarry. He's a guy that a lot of people will start to learn about. He's a junior. He's been one of our mainstays since his freshman year, but he'll catch some for us. He'll play shortstop for us. He'll pitch for us. He'll bat in the top 3 of the order. Just a really baseball savvy guy, which, whenever you talk about high school kids, if you're baseball savvy, then you elevate yourself a little bit, because baseball smarts is kind of missing right now in this age group. And so we got him, and we got, some really good arms that I say really good. We're not going to go out there and light up the radar gun, so I don't know how many looks they'll get right now, but we've got some guys that can go out there and compete. Bo Barbary, he's a junior left-handed pitcher that's just kind of quirky from a high arm slot that's going to go out there, and he's just a bulldog. He's going to compete his butt off, and he's going to get you late in games. If you hear that, that's my dog drinking water right now, so I apologize. He's thirsty. But Bo's going to go out there, and he's going to compete. He's a slider guy. He's a fastball guy. He can locate. He can pitch. We got a sophomore named Braden Passmore who, he struck out 55 and walked 12 in his freshman year. And we're in games late with those guys. They just find ways to get outs. They're not going to overpower you. They're going to mix it up. They're going to work ahead. We got some guys like Anderson Hayes, who was a freshman last year, who we couldn't pitch a whole lot because he fell behind in counts and his pitch count would get elevated. But he's done a lot of hard work and soul searching this offseason. And he's going to be a dog for us. He's thrown really well this fall. And we got guys like Colin Wilson, who, if we keep him healthy, he can throw it a little bit and has a great curveball. And, we spoke about Joel, and he can get things done. But, we're heavy, man. I would be remiss if I didn't mention every single kid that's coming back from our varsity. But we've got some really good athletes. A kid that I think you guys will start to see this year, Lucas Cannon. He's a junior. He looks the part. He steps in the box. He batted leadoff for us last year. When he gets on the base pass, it's just somebody that you think has watched the game for 35 years, but he's not 35. He just walks around with this moxie about himself that he just understands what's going on. And, we got guys like Miles Barbary, who has gotten a lot stronger, and he's putting balls out of the park now during practice, which is something we hadn't seen since we were little baby freshmen a couple of years ago. So it's nice to see the ball leave the infield. And, we're just out there just trying to do what everybody else is doing, find a way to win games, and just having a good time doing it.
Yeah, no doubt. Obviously, the new program, you haven't lost those seniors yet, and newcomers are kind of hard to come by. But what newcomers are you looking forward to this year?
A lot of them had some substantial playing time last year, but a guy that caught some for us last year that's moving into the infield is Daniel Rentz. He's another guy that just is kind of intelligent when it comes to baseball. He's tough out in the box. Guys like Zach Madden, who played football for us, who are just great athlete. He can get out there, he can move, he'll play center field for us. Another household name that you may hear in a couple of years is Dominic Stopa. He's a sophomore that, he's just a big kid, man. He's strong. He moves weight around. He plays fast. If we can get him to know exactly what to do at all times, he could be a really good player, and he's going to have a lot of, opportunities for that. And then a kid that was on our JV last year that came up some that has really grown, and here's a newcomer, is a kid named Harley Wells. Harley's always done things really, really well for us. He's done it the right way, but he's put on some size. And this fall, he pitched for us in every DP game and on our World Series, and he's looked great. And so he's a guy that has a chance. Guy played football. Caden Carnes has a chance to pitch for us. Grayson Watson, another kid that could have, an opportunity. But, we got some good players, man, and we just have to figure out how to play the game a little bit quicker.
Yeah, you obviously start to return a lot of guys that played a ton, kind of get a bunch of experience under your belt. What are some expectations you guys have in the program kind of leading into this year as the fall's winding down and kind of getting guys more involved and into the program and growing that thing?
Well, we as a team want to make less errors than we did last year because we made a bunch of them. And, as a coach, I'm not even 30 yet, but I swear to you, I got so many gray hairs that you can't see because of it. But we want to make less errors than we did. If we play Hillcrest again, we don't want to lose by 1,500 runs like we did last year. We just want to be a little more competitive there. But, we want to make the playoffs. We want these kids to get to experience that. And we were a couple games off from that. We had a chance with the Palmetto series to make it. But, experience goes a long way in this league. And so had a lot of kids where, you go from JV to that. It's a little bit different animal. And so, we feel like if we make the playoffs in high school sports, if you have two arms, you can make a run. And so we think we got two arms. We think we got a good catcher and some guys that can get the job done back there. And so we just want to make it and see what happens.
Coach, that was the best expectations answer I've had on the high school previews. Obviously. Last question here. You've got your schedule set in stone. What games are you looking forward to the most?
I'm not looking forward to any of them because we schedule hard teams. And so, we did the DP All-Star game, and I didn't have to coach third or make lineups or do anything else. The funnest I've had as a coach in years because there's, no pressure on me to make mistakes and screw things up. But we're hosting the Fountain Inn Classic this year, which is something we're excited about. The past 2 years, that's been a JV tournament, and we wanted to bump it up to a varsity tournament. And so you had Coach P on here earlier or Coach Hudgens on here earlier, Wade Hampton, and I swear to you, we opened with them, not realizing that they had a 26 and a 27 that'll probably get drafted out of high school. So now we get to play them. And of course, it's at home, so we'll have a big crowd, so they'll get to come watch that. So hopefully we don't, poop the bed. But we've got some good teams in that. And, our non-region schedule this year, I must have been on cloud nine making it because we're going to Lawrence, and Lawrence is coming here. And that, I don't even want to start about how many guys they got. They got dudes on dudes on dudes, and so they're loaded. And then we're going to Riverside, and they're loaded. And then Seneca's coming here, and they got another McGovern kid who's a stud, and they can pitch it with Bay. And, Woodruff, who I think Woodruff has a chance. And this might be out of left field a little bit, but I've been talking to our coaches. I think Woodruff could become a rival for the Fury. And I'm not trying to give any bulletin board material or anything like that, but small town community. Right. Coach Brown's an amazing coach. They have really good players. We're another small town community. Our basketball teams played last year in some nail biters, and it was always intense with the student sections. And then our football team went over there, and that was intense. And so, the battle of the small towns. And in our region, man, when I left my last job, I was very, very happy to be leaving, playing Lexington, River Bluff, Dutch Fork, Chapin every night. And we get here, and we got to play dang BHP, Powdersville, Palmetto, Wren. And I'm just thinking, when can we catch a break? But I don't think it'll ever happen. But we've got some really good teams we're playing, so we've got to be at our best at all times. And I sure hope that I'm not having conversations with coaches before the game saying I don't know what team's going to show up tonight because that means we won't win much. But we're just looking forward to getting to compete some.
Well, Coach, I want to, first of all, thank you for not giving so much of the wonderful coach speak we hear out there and throwing some awesome answers with some reality behind it. How do you want to expect that? I don't want to make as many errors, right? I applaud it. So
once again, we don't need bulletin board, man. We don't want to fake every night. You can throw your 3 or your 4 and just see if we can more than you. But I mean, we're not creating anything new over at Fountain Inn. We're just trying to do the right things, throw strikes, make plays, and win some low-scoring games.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, we know you had old Austin Smith as a fan last year when he came out to watch. So we'll be out there. PBR staff will be out there again this spring, ready to
Y'all
fire
come
up and
out,
watch
man.
the Fury.
The one game he came out was the region game we beat Wren, and then y'all didn't come out anymore, and we couldn't beat him again. So y'all come out every single time we play Coach Thompson and Wren. We'd really use
Hey,
that support.
we'll blame Austin on that. Don't worry about that.
I'm happy to blame Austin on that one. I can do it again.
Hey, as long as I get to see Cole West, I'll be there.
Well, he's going to coach first, so just make sure you got your stopwatch out. Thankfully for us, I'll say this. Thankfully for us at home, our home dugout's on the first base side, and so he's got a short run. So get your stopwatch out and run out there. But, we won't hold that.
Now, if the dugout was on the third base side, would he coach third? Or was that a deal based on
well, he's going to watch. He's going to watch this, so I'm not going to say anything that would make him upset with me. But he would still coach first base. I just make sure he have a Snickers and a Powerade in the dugout when he gets back. Listen,
gosh!
I love him. Y'all, I've known him for a long time, so yeah, I love Cole West. He's awesome. I'm glad he's with us. We've got some great coaches. All of our coaches are great. We're really fortunate to be a new program with a staff that's as passionate as we are. And I don't think a lot of people, without trying, have highlighted their staff. But we have a really great staff, and our JV staff with Coach Stetson Culbertson does a great job. And then our pitching coach is a longtime guy. Was at Sumter High School, Cane Bay High School, and he's with us now, David Horton. And he'll let you know he's not the Bamberg Earhart David Horton. He is his own, but he does a really great job with our kids. I would be successful, and our team will only ever be as our assistant coaches. And so we're very fortunate to have great ones. And you guys look like you froze.
You froze on us.
You froze on us there. Unfortunately, we're obviously might have to cut the great. Well, Coach, we definitely want to appreciate you for hopping on and coming here and talking a little baseball and talking a little Fury baseball, more importantly. And we know you got some great players and some fantastic assistant coaches out there. So we want to wish you the best of luck this spring and finishing out the fall here as you guys wind down back into the semester. I
appreciate y'all. And hey, next year's our year. South Carolina Gamecocks going to win the championship in football. Y'all just be waiting.
We just going to end on that note right there. We got. Look, he had lower expectations for the Fury, higher expectations for the Gamecocks. But hey, Coach, we really do appreciate it.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate you guys.
Yes, sir.